The morning sun cast a golden glow across the bustling streets of downtown Manhattan, but for Jamal Carter, the city's energy was just a distant hum. His world revolved around the small, warm hand in that of his 5-year-old daughter, Mia. Being a single dad was a marathon, not a sprint, and today's race was against the clock. Maya's preschool was on one side of the city, and his job as a junior graphic designer at Sterling Corp was on the other. "Daddy, can we get a rainbow donut after school?" Maya asked, her big brown eyes sparkling with hope. Jamal smiled, adjusting the strap of her little unicorn backpack. "If you're a super good artist today, maybe we can get two." Her delighted giggle was the fuel that powered his entire day. After dropping Maya off with a kiss and a promise, Jamal sprinted to the subway, squeezing into a packed car. He arrived at the gleaming Sterling Corp Tower just in time, his portfolio clutched tightly. Today was the big day, a presentation to the entire executive board, including the notoriously elusive CEO, Evelyn Sterling. It was his chance to finally pitch his passion project, a community arts initiative for underprivileged kids. As he sat up in the intimidatingly sleek boardroom, his hands trembled slightly. He took a deep breath, picturing Maya's smiling face. This was for her, for kids just like her. The board members filed in, their faces stern and impassive. And then she walked in. Evelyn Sterling was even more striking in person, impeccably dressed, with an aura of power that seemed to change the air in the room. Jamal launched into his presentation. He poured his heart out, his voice gaining confidence as he spoke about the power of art to change lives, showing mock-ups he'd stayed up all night perfecting. When he finished, the room was silent. He braced himself for dismissal. But then Evelyn Sterling spoke, her voice cool but clear. "Mr. Carter, your passion is evident. But Sterling Corp is a business, not a charity. What's the ROI?" Jamal's heart sank. He hadn't focused on profits. He'd focused on people. He tried to explain the long-term community benefits, but he could see he was losing them. The meeting was a bust. Defeated, Jamal packed up his materials. As the other executives left, Evelyn Sterling remained. She walked over, her heels clicking softly on the marble floor. "It was a good idea, Mr. Carter," she said, her tone a little softer now. "Just not the right pitch for that audience." He just nodded, too disappointed to speak. "Look," she continued, "I'm heading to a charity gala tonight. My +1 just canceled. It's full of potential investors who might actually appreciate your people-first approach. Be at the Plaza Hotel at 8 sharp." Jamal was stunned. "Me? But ... I don't have a tux." "I have to pick up my daughter." Evelyn waved a dismissive hand. "I'll have a tux sent to your apartment. Find a sitter. This is a one-time opportunity. Don't waste it." And with that, she was gone. The evening was a whirlwind. Jamal found a last-minute sitter, a kind neighbor who adored Maya. A perfectly tailored tuxedo arrived as promised. Standing in front of his small apartment mirror, he barely recognized himself. He felt like an imposter heading into a fairy tale. At the plaza, the opulence was staggering. He found Evelyn by the grand staircase, a vision in a shimmering silver gown. She handed him a glass of champagne. "Relax, Carter. Try to look like you belong here." Throughout the night, Jamal was a fish out of water. He felt everyone's eyes on him, the lone black man in a sea of old money. Standing next to the city's most powerful CEO, the small talk was excruciating. He felt more at home in a messy art studio than in this palace of glitter and glass. He tried to talk about his project with a few people Evelyn introduced him to, but their eyes glazed over. They wanted to talk stocks, yachts, and summer homes in the Hamptons. He was failing again. Later, feeling dejected, he found a quiet spot on a balcony overlooking the city lights. Evelyn found him there. "Tough crowd, huh?" she said, leaning against the railing. "I don't belong here, Miss Sterling," Jamal admitted quietly. "I'm just a single dad from Brooklyn who likes to draw. This world, it's not mine." Evelyn was silent for a moment, her gaze fixed on the skyline. She began, her voice barely a whisper, under this $1,000 dress and all this jewelry. Do you want to know what I'm really wearing? Jamal was taken aback by the question. It felt strangely intimate, almost a test. He looked at her, not at the powerful CEO, but at the woman standing before him, looking just as lonely as he felt. He thought of Maya, of his own simple, honest life. He decided to be honest, too. He nodded slowly. Yeah, I do. A faint, sad smile touched her lips. I'm wearing a mask, she confessed, her voice thick with an emotion he couldn't quite place. One that's heavier than you can imagine. It's made of expectations, of legacy, of the constant pressure to be perfect, to be powerful, to never show a single crack. Jamal was stunned into silence. This wasn't what he expected at all. You think they see me? She continued, gesturing back toward the ballroom. They see the sterling name, they see a $sign. They don't see the woman who'd rather be at home reading a book, who hasn't had a real, honest conversation all night. Until now, she turned to face him fully, her eyes searching his. You talk about your daughter with such love. You have something real, something more valuable than anything in that ballroom. You're not wearing a mask, Jamal. You're wearing your heart on your sleeve. And that's more impressive than any tuxedo. In that moment, the gap between the billionaire CEO and the single dad from Brooklyn vanished. They were just two people sharing a moment of unexpected, profound honesty under the New York City stars. The next Monday, an email landed in Jamal's inbox. It was from Evelyn Sterling. The subject line read, Sterling Community Arts Initiative. His heart pounded as he opened it. The email was short and to the point. Let's do it. It read, I'll provide the initial funding myself. Not as the CEO of Sterling Corp, but as a private investor. Set up a meeting. My treat for the rainbow donuts. Jamal stared at the screen, a slow, wide grin spreading across his face. He looked at a crayon drawing Maya had made for him taped to his monitor. It was a picture of him holding her hand, both of them smiling. He had almost given up, but by being true to himself, he hadn't just gotten a second chance. He had found an unexpected ally and a true partner. And he knew, with absolute certainty, that this was only the beginning. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content that touches the heart. We'll see you in the next video.